type in the address that you're going to be at, and it will tell you what frequencies you can use there, so you don't get any interference or anything like that.
Does it really vary that much?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're going to go interstate, it will vary quite differently. So, for example, in Melbourne here, if I grab my phone, I'll just come around it there, and I bring up I mean, I have it saved as a link on my phone, but like basically the channel finder on that ACMA. So if I just put in our address here, which is, let's go 330 Neerim Road, Carnegie, and it will find us. And then it comes up with all, like there's a bunch you can use. So when you're in Queensland, you might find it's a bit more difficult, the ones that you can use.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's so useful. Ever since they changed all the laws around channels and stuff like that, it's kind of become a must-have.
But just being slow.
Yeah. It is quite a slow website because it's pretty much going through their archives and stuff to find the channels that are appropriate.
And so once you've got the number, what do you...
So once you've got the number, once you've got the number that they give you, which will be like a 600 number normally, you'll actually go in and you'll find, so if I wanted to go to 660, so if they say that the range you can use is say 660 through to 680, then you would just go, realistically, I'd just go to the first 660 I can find pretty much. Always try and stay in the group. So for example, I would put, if it was 660, I would go here and put it on 5.5 and 5.6 because they're both in the same group.
So one channel would be on 5 and one...
Yeah, so what I would do is I would go set and it's flashing on 7. So I'd take that down to 5, set, and then it will move over to channel and I'll go set again and it's on 2 now and I'll go up to 5
and then the
and
other
go
one will be
set.
5, 6.
And then what I'll do to pair these up is I'll press the ACT button and I'll hold this where the red light is in front of it. And it's done. 5.5. Easy.
Yes.
Cool. And you'll know it's working because if you've got the mic on, or if you have, even if you haven't, it'll have the reception will be full. Let's see if this has come up with what's good for here. You can also just put in whole places. But like I use this before every gig. So when we went to Sydney, I went in and found what they were, and my mics were fine, but the other guys' mics who were from Sydney, their mics were fucked because they didn't check the frequencies first.
Yeah.
Even though I said to them,
you do every time, really.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And
so available frequencies.
Well.
So realistically, we can use that for everything, but we don't have, that's not, some mics that have come out now will use that specifically. But if you just go down here, we want to go to UHF and we want to look in here and we've got 603 to 610. We've got 6.
So the green is what we're looking at.
The green is what we're looking at. So we're looking for yes or likely. Likely is fine indoor. I've never had a problem with using a likely frequency indoor.
You prefer yes.
Prefer is yes. So in this case, we don't really, and we sit around, these sit around the 640 through to 650. Sorry, so through to 660. So what I would do is I would have just left it on what I've already got there. So 652 to 659 likely.
Why would you do that instead of changing it to the yes one?
Because they only run in about 20 megahertz, so these don't run in 603 to 610. So these mics don't run. No. So there's a list of all the mics in Australia basically, and all mics run about the same channels in the same set as these. And so
because those only go through the 6s.
Okay, so it'll be 650. Oh no, because there's 640s here somewhere.
So would that one there be the best?
687. We don't have those now. Yeah. Right. So most mics, even like most of the Shores and that, don't run in those because what happened was they went and changed all the channels basically, and they said you can only have these channels now. So the ones that they allow you to have are. That's allowed Australia-wide.
Right.
6 megahertz Australia-wide, which is nothing. I mean, only the newest mics that are out now are in that channel, so no one uses them. But the cool thing about having so many here, the only reason they say likely is because they're shared with TV networks, but realistically, in most places that you're going to be, you're not going to come into any kind of issue with TVs. The only place is when you're on the Gold Coast, which is why we have that other band as well. And it's the same thing. They're all the same.
So where's the other band?
So the other band is... oh, that's not supposed to have that on that. That's supposed to be...
that's supposed to be the other one.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm going to use mostly, and then there'll be another
and that's will be the spare one,
Yeah, got it.
That's not supposed to be...
Sarah's making the table. So
All by myself.
I might just leave that on there, but then just don't refer to this one. But also, you won't even have these because this will be in the tray anyway. So you'll just... I have a copy of this on my computer. I'll just email it to you so you know.
Cool.
Or you can take a photo. Cool, and that's how you set it, and you can do it for each one. And it's just, they're both exactly the same.
So one's coming through there and one's coming through there, is that right?
No, they'll both be coming
they're
through
both
one
coming
of them.
through
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the other
So that's
version.
just the spare one, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in case. And it would be the same thing, you'd just be doing exactly what I just did then.
Yeah.
You can literally turn that one off and just keep this one on and just tune it and then use these.
So I don't understand though, what did I buy extra that's just...
So you've got two of these.
But they're the same frequencies though?
No.
No.
One's a 5 and one's a 6.
Yeah, so that
Cool.
sticker's wrong.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I
Yeah.
understand.
So, and then you've also got 4 of these. 2 for 6, and because you can't use a 5 one of these with a 6 one of these. You can't. They're not compatible.
Yep.
So you have to physically use. So that's why we got 2 5s and 2 6s. That way, if you were ever in trouble, you'd be able to
Queensland.
put 2 just specifically with that, and 2.
And that would be if I looked up on the app and there was nothing in that range.
Just always use the 6s unless you need to use the 5s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And in most cases, I still use 6s unless it says no. If it says no, then I won't. But if it says likely, I'll still use the 6s because 6s have a stronger RF range, which means they can actually connect with these a little bit better than what the 5s can. The 5s use way more power as well, so you need to be replacing the batteries more frequently. I always set the RF power quite high on these anyway, because in Australia there's just so much stuff going on that you never know when something's going to come in, and if it comes in the middle of performance, you don't have time to go back and change the RF to high. If you won't need to change it, but just in case, squelch, that also prevents interference. So to set that, it's already set at the highest, but sometimes if you notice any artifacts in the sound, any like it almost sounds like it's a bit digitized, like the sound. I mean, you didn't notice it just then, and I had it on high, but sometimes if it's fighting really hard against interference, you might hear it, and in that case, you just want to turn the squelch down just a little bit, because what it's doing is it's encoding it digitally to stop any stuff coming in, but you can kind of get a bit of a digital sound. I've never experienced it, but people have told me that's what can happen.
Okay.
Cool. That's done.
Very
So I'll install this in that way.